Welcome, inhabitants of terra firma. This is Archangel. The recipe for reproduction is the same as it is for discord and turmoil. Take males, then add females, and mix generously. Boiled down, the co-ed garden is ripe with problems. Yet, what of solutions? That depends on situational awareness. What do you see as the problem, and what is your agenda for resolution? Feminists have male subjugation solutions. Traditional conservatives have female infantilization solutions. So too does male empowerment have a solution. It's simple and revolutionary. Walk away from abusive inequity. But this does not sit well with most guys, who dismiss it as a broadsword response to a scalpel-appropriate problem. After all, the family unit, romantic relations, female nature, what exactly is inexorably corrupted and what is salvageable? Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. And so guys mire themselves down in speculation and what-ifs, refusing to see that life is corrupted. Gynocentrism has rigged the game. The game is corrupted. Males are relegated to disposability by their own species in the wake of procreation, which compels sexual anatomy prioritization. Then, in order to reconcile male disposability with human morality, we devalue males to justify their expendability. A rigged game does not avail itself to resolution. You have to switch to a more equitable game. Yet, such a fair playing field will remain cerebral hypothetical musing as long as we are chained to procreative imperatives, which drive sexual anatomy prioritization, which fuels gynocentrism, hence the rigged game in favor of the gyno. But alas, short of artificial womb technology or self-replication, there will be no miraculous force or savior or evolutionary surprise that will come along to upend gynocentrism and right the injustices against the beings who imagined, innovated, and built this world and then protected it with their very life's blood. Guys are thus relegated to utilities, whose purpose is to build stuff, then die in service and protection of that stuff, family, communities, etc. Whereas females are held in esteem as proprietors of life or as tender fragile beings. Either way, protection is obligated, meaning female life is valued above male life. Human existence is, for whatever reason, a rigged game where females are favored. There will be no intervention to bring justice. No. The only solution is for the downtrodden to stick up for themselves. Males have to stand up and refuse mistreatment. Nobody will do it for them. On the contrary, the world waits to use them. Male disposability is the game. And it is currently irreconcilable under the procreative constraints of existence. Even if feminism was quelled tomorrow, male disposability would still rage on. No, walking away is the solution. It is nonviolent, and it will starve out abuse and those who would invoke it. Yet males, not ready to relinquish romantic fiction or their need for female validation to prop their identity and chemical experience on, these needy males will go on a salvage quest trying to Frankenstein something together out of this gynocentric paradigm. Indeed, turning your back on corruption that involves all of society seems an extreme, fanatical position in juxtaposition to a more centrist, let's work together and fix things for the benefit of all type position. But how extreme is it to recoil from pain or abuse, whether it is from a single person or all of society? No, turning your back to devaluation, usury, and discardation is not extreme. It is humane, nonviolent, and elementary. Yet, to those who have unseen stakes in playing this rigged game, they will criticize this answer as extreme zealotry, fanaticism, anarchy, then drone on about a lack of solutions in male empowerment, or accuse us of hate-mongering because we can't fuse the interests of matter and antimatter into one unified conclusion. You see, what the average gynocentrically steeped male really seeks is empowerment and validational pats on the head from pretty chicks. They seek the equitable fusion of the oxymoron, the resolution of sovereignty and subjugation. How can we improve male worth and treatment within gynocentrism? How can we repair male esteem within female-favoring romance paradigms? How can we be empowered in personal social interactions that favor females and most likely always will? Essentially, what are your answers to improve willpower and sobriety while still indulging addiction? How can we have our cake and eat it too, just like chicks who get equality and chivalry? When guys come to male spaces, most hit a solution hunting phase as they attempt to grasp the enormity of the corruption. Yet, when their solution hunting phase ends with solitary empowerment and turning your back on romance and sexual interaction with females, for most, this is an unacceptable conclusion. No. There must be something else. Some way to fix male-female relations and interactions within a broken, rigged game. There has to be some way to be a free slave. And so, like others before them, they undertake the challenge to find a more validation-friendly answer. They will be the ones to find a way to unrig this game. And so, most will take off down the men's rights traditionalism road, because what the garden variety male desires is value reclamation and validation-enriching female interaction. Walking away is not a pretty answer, but it is effective, and really, in this environment of toxicity towards males, voting with your feet is the only viable option for rational, non-malicious males. Walk away. Cease interaction with gynocentric institutions as best you can, meaning we all live in a gynocentric world, and to some degree we must maneuver in it to go to work, to go to the store, etc. But the most effective place to riot against inequity is through our absence from romantic relations with females. Walk away from relationships, marriage, or any sexual or personal intimate relationship with females. This is not hatred. This is not violence. It is rationality, and this will do more to cease abuse and cause change than anything else offered. This is what we proselytize. This is the solution. There is nothing more. However, this doesn't fit guys' cake and eat it too quest for value reclamation and female romantic interaction. We inhabit an environment where females have the ability and prerogative to ruin a man using the legal system he funds against him, or to twist and use his sexual appetites and emotions to manipulate female enriching treatment and utility from him. And, well, under such parameters, there can be no equitable interpersonal nor sexual relations for males in such agreements. Walk away. It's simple, it's powerful, and really it's the only option available because males who stick their necks out for men's issues or speak out about male mistreatment are quickly punished in a gynocentric society. If males spoke up in numbers, we would be a viable force, yet singular random males here and there speaking up make themselves targets for expeditious pruning. Hence, most male empowerment rabble-rousers are met with combinations of shame, ostracization, and social, legal, or career quarantine or ruination. Males know this. They see the inequity. Some even support men's rights or male empowerment in secret. However, because of the environment of misandry and male contempt saturating our culture, males remain tightly closeted about their male empowerment sympathies, or only speak out in anonymous online venues late at night, with hoods over their heads and sunglasses on their faces. But in public, in daylight, males are scared into silence, under duress of punishment. Awakened males have no options but to vote with our feet and wait for male awakening to reach critical mass. Then we can come out of the shadows and be proud of our sex. But for now, we are like German citizens driven underground in our opposition to the Nazis. I was talking with a guy just yesterday who sees male devaluation, and like most males, he follows the well-worn path to traditionalism renaissance as the answer. I, however, retorted that his answer is a band-aid at best, not a solution. Rather, males awakening and refusing the mistreatment is the answer, and males will not reach this point until it gets far worse for males in every aspect of society and female interaction. When the pain threshold of their devaluation trumps the fairy tales and temporary pleasures they cling to, then we will have revolution. Unfortunately, males have high pain tolerances and the unique ability to justify parasitism by sweet, soft, fluffy bunnies. As such, I do not see male revolution anytime soon, despite the worsening atmosphere for males. He, numerous times during the conversation, rhetorically offered, I wonder why it's not getting better. Why are guys allowing this? Then, at some point, he tells me he has to give a lecture in one of his college courses on a controversial subject of his choosing, and he was thinking about giving it on the welfare state. Then I told him, some say that females are responsible for welfare. They gained the right to vote, and soon thereafter, welfare was implemented. If this is so, it was a pivotal change of providership by turning the government into a female-enriching errand boy tasked with amassing provision from the male populace for female sustenance, so chicks did not have to rely on traditional matrimony to individual males for rations. He looked almost shocked. Oh no, I could not make that connection in my class. So then I offered, why don't you do a lecture on male devaluation and disposability? He laughed and said, no way! My teacher, the whole class, is feminist. I need that class for graduation. I immediately seized his answer and said, you want to know why things are not getting any better? Because guys are too scared to speak up. And so he retorts, well, this is different. I talk about guy issues with my friends, but getting my degree is different. I said, no, it's not. That right there is the problem. Male silence and acceptance. Every guy has a reason why he says or does nothing against male inequity. He is afraid he will lose his job or his social position. He is afraid he will be ostracized from public or familial esteem. He's afraid he won't get reelected or win the Oscar or Grammy or Nobel Prize were he to speak out against male mistreatment. Oh, you bet. Every guy has a reason they will not say anything when they witness male abuse or slander in the media, in our laws, in our communities. It would affect my job, my social life, my marriage, my plans, my children, etc. This is why things are not getting any better, because gynocentrism is absolute. It holds males in a stranglehold of fear. Maybe you say nothing because you need the degree you're working on at the university and you need to appease feminist teachers. Fine, great. That seems a sympathetic position. However, that is the nerve gynocentrism is pinching on you. For other guys, it is fear that they might lose their kids, their job, their social standing, their livelihoods, their ability to function and thrive in the world and polite society. Perhaps they fear being made an example of, or legal and social retribution, were they to stick up for themselves against unchecked female abuse. But gynocentrism holds leverage over every man's head, and this keeps them silent, heads down, pulling the plow, as they grumble in hushed tones to the guys pulling right next to them. Yes, every guy has individual reasons for silence and resigned acceptance. Yet, at the end of the day, justice fails males because the male masses are afraid to speak out against mistreatment and inequity. This is precisely why nothing is getting better, nor will it in the foreseeable future. Because of blackmail, guys have to keep quiet and get back in line to appease feminist college professors, or to keep their job or social standing or public approval ratings, or maybe they simply shut their mouths and take the wife or girlfriend's toddler demands and tantrums in order to keep her sated, so he may get 3 seconds of female-assisted ejaculation once or twice a year. Gynocentrism has something to extort and blackmail every single male with, and neither men's rights, nor conservatism, nor anti-feminism, nor capitalism, nothing will affect equity for males, because we are too far gone. Females wield too much power. Every man submits to gyno worship and female authority in some way, and every man has a reason why they can't, don't, and won't speak up. And when you get a world full of silent, docile males, this is why nothing is getting better. We all have reasons and justifications. We all have pressure points being squeezed by the vaginisty. Walking away allows opposition without making one a feminine combatant target to make public example of. I do not assume a superior position to anyone. I also have been made to shut up and keep my head down for the comfort of others, or for the social protection of myself various times throughout my life. This is how powerful gynocentrism has become. The mistreated are afraid to speak up, fearful that they might lose the few remaining crumbs they are allotted in a social machine that consumes them. This is how much power the feminine has amassed, and how weak males have become. They dare not address their own devaluation nor express outrage over their mistreatment, and this intimidation is only getting worse. The male collective is not getting stronger. They are getting weaker. In fact, if social collapse happened before the male majority meets the business end of gynocentrism, then nothing changes. You have female deferring males rebuilding everything. Just imagine manginas and simps tasked with rebuilding civilizations. It definitely could be worse than it currently is. So, you see, this is the beauty of walking away. Not only does it give you clarity, free from social coercion or the chemical intoxicants of interaction with females, but slowly pulling ourselves from the most male abusive institutions, like romantic interactions with females. This affects nonviolent change, because we can't seem to get the numbers of males needed to protest with exemption from individual targeting. However, what we can do is starve the system by voting with our actions and limiting our involvement with the male disposal machine. That is the solution. Reject abuse and usury. Short of that, no, there is no reconciliation or resolution of male sovereignty and female interaction. If you think there is, then you do not understand the fundamentals of the game. It's gynocentric. If you think you can find a way to change female nature, then you better find a way to change male nature as well, because males infantilize and protect females. Males started disposability. Males enforced their own expendability. So you are going to have to find a way to change both sexes' mindsets and motivational drives. So, I don't know, mass lobotomies, maybe? There are no other answers. You enable the game, or you turn your back on it, until such time as a game changer comes along. The artificial womb would be such a turning point. Now, I know, this all sounds doom and gloom, yet males themselves are the answer. If males refuse mistreatment, they rewrite the rules under which others will interact with them. If males demand utmost respectful treatment from others, including females, this is the best mitigation we have within a rigged game of sexual anatomy prioritization compelled at the behest of procreative imperatives. When males walk away, they not only uphold their own value, they demonstrate their defiance and self-worth to a world that licks its lips in anticipation of their utility providership. Males need to starve that machine. Until the parameters of reproduction change, gynocentrism is going to reign in some form or fashion. The best males can hope for is usury mitigation by setting the terms in which others will treat them. You must refuse mistreatment and stick up for males. This will yield you the best treatment in a life paradigm where you will still be sacrificed before your sisters. The true titans walk away entirely. They set the example for female validation-dependent males to look to. And this change, this revolution, starts from humble origins. You simply walk away from romantic interactions with females. And do not fear, population replenishment will not suffer. There will always be hormonally charged young adults and teens ovulating and ejaculating with each other. This will never cease. However, for mass acknowledgement of male devaluation, there must be a separation, a walkaway period where we turn our backs on the mistreatment and starve it out. Then, when the other team realizes how desperate and dependent they are upon the inferior dudes they devalue, they will solicit their return. And when you are being solicited, then you have the power position to dictate treatment. Walk away. There is nothing else. That is the answer, and it is the path to freedom, sovereignty, and empowerment. How many times do you need to hear it? It is the most kind, compassionate, morally responsible, and efficacious solution to male disposability. Reject abuse by moving away from it. That is not apathy nor nihilism, and it certainly is not hatred. It is compassion for all involved, and it is a statement stronger than any other. I have infinite worth, and I will not be party to such deplorable treatment of myself or brothers. Oh, sure, you can talk about male devaluation all you want in private or online to sympathetic ears, but words without deeds to uphold them are simply impotent bursts of sound. We must walk away in order to get recognition to male disposability. Then we can renegotiate interpersonal treatment. But you need not worry. I do not see large-scale acknowledgement of male mistreatment for many years, even decades. If mass awakening happened tomorrow, then we do not need some intricate new plan. Simply demand others treat you the way you desire to be treated, no better nor worse than you would treat others. However, do not concern yourself with the hypothetical. Males cannot receive equity. How could we afford them that? Who then would give their lives to maintain society? Females? So our mission is not to focus on how a post-awakened society might possibly function. We still have a problem that's not even being acknowledged. No, our task is to awaken society by rejecting it. Our mission is to walk away. Many males who would otherwise identify and support MGTOW or male empowerment may find moral unease with abandoning half the population. Many will point to balance in all things as the only answer that does not involve entropy. Thus, most people will seek an answer that necessarily invokes inclusion of all. We'll look at it this way. This is part of an immune response. Female sway and male mistreatment has become so destructive, so damaging, and so out of balance, like a fungal or malignant cell overgrowth. Hence, we are the immune response, the defense force, the antibodies fighting imbalance. Walking away is not extreme. It is healing and restoration of self, and it is part of a larger response against injustice, which is essentially disease redress. Turning your back is, again, non-violent, non-malicious. It spares individual exploitation through absence and anonymity, and it is basically affecting health for the whole system of humanity by addressing disease, the disease of male devaluation. So join the warrior monks and rest easily knowing that you are not extreme. You are not a fanatic. You are part of an immune response to challenge disease ravaging the body of humanity. Walking away has purpose, and it is righteous. And if some males have anger regarding their mistreatment as they walk away, well, they have every right to. They have been horridly abused. Yet we practice tough love by starving the machine that creates inequity, so that maybe one day boys will not be born into devaluation. If you do not like that answer, then you are not ready for the problem. You are free to go back to your fluffy fairy tales of feminists are the villains, and when they are supplanted, all will be right and well in the land once again. My friends, stand with me, live free.